With chilly weather continuing this weekend, it stands to see if commutes will get better for essential workers. Odell Saye, Washington, D.C. Although AI has gained controversy these past few years, it has become increasingly popular with workers online. It stands to see if the workplace will embrace these new changes. This is Odell Saye with District Dispatch in Washington, D.C. As spring approaches, it stands to see if organizations will return to the Potomac River. This is Odell Saye in Washington, D.C. As the U.S. and Iran navigate possibilities to end the war, African countries will have to wait and see if instability will continue. This is Odell Saye at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. The war in Iran is not just affecting countries in the West, but the East as well. Many, like Rowena Gono, say their families are already starting to feel the weight of this war in Africa.
So I asked my brother, because he lives there and works and raises a family, and he was saying they're already seeing some signs in terms of the petroleum, or what we call gas, utilities.
Experts, such as George Washington University professor David Shin, believes that the situation in the continent could get worse if the war continues any longer.
About 40% of all fertilizer comes through the Strait of Hormuz, and if it's not coming through, there's going to be a fertilizer shortage, which of course is going to jack the prices up even further.
Shin also says that because a large amount of African countries depend on agriculture for food, the war could lead to food shortages or even famine. With the U.S. and Iran struggling to come to a permanent agreement, these countries are at a risk for devastating long-term effects. This problem will also cause strain on more than 1.5 billion people who inhabit Africa, like the parents of Zina Kepe.
They have to buy food, they have to travel, they have to go from place to place, even just to go get the food. Maybe in the long run, if the need exists, then I would have to keep it up a little bit, because I would say, honestly, I am the primary financial provider for my parents.
Although some countries, such as Nigeria, could experience some advantages due to being an oil exporter country, other countries are feeling the strain of the war. However, experts like Yvonne Captain say that the continent's reaction to the war is complicated.
Since there's no love for Trump, for Trump's presidency, and especially after Marco Rubio gave his speech about, his infamous speech about the world needs to be westernized, there is not the hatred for Iran that we would assume here in the United States.
As the U.S. and Iran navigate possibilities to end the war, African countries will have to wait and see if instability will continue. This is Odell Saye at the World Bank in Washington, D.C. According to D.C. Health, the Potomac River is ready for visitors. D.C. Water finished cleaning the river this month after over 200 million gallons of sewage polluted the river in January. Many organizations, like the Rock Creek Rowing Club, are excited for the chance to be back on the water.
I'm hoping that will all still be in place over the next couple of weeks, so that when we as a team are ready to get on the water, that we will in fact be able to do so and stay on the water through the summer.
Although DC Health confirms the river's safety, there are still lingering concerns from residents. Those same concerns currently leave the river empty. Climate experts, such as Eli Kintish, believe there is credence to these concerns.
More seriously, over time, you could, if you're swimming in a river that has lots of chemical pollutants, like from a factory, that can make you sick or even lead to serious diseases like cancer over time.
Zuloff also worries about the safety of the water.
So we're probably going to start rowing on the river in 2 weeks, and we're putting all kinds of procedures in place to make sure that our equipment is clean. We're going to wear rubber gloves and other things to try and make sure that we can stay healthy.
This year's sewage spill was not the first time the Potomac was deemed dangerous to the public. The Potomac River previously had many issues regarding its health and safety from the 1930s to the 1950s. This led to a citywide effort to purify the water, starting in the 60s. Despite these efforts to make the Potomac River safer, the sewage spill in January undid all of this progress.
The government's regulation of access to the Potomac has changed over time as the river historically has gotten cleaner. For example, there have been areas of the Potomac where you could swim in. But now, obviously, with this incident, the Potomac is again unsafe to swim in.
As spring approaches, it stands to see if organizations will return to the Potomac River. This is Odell Saye in Washington, D.C. Maryland attracts many who want a nice place to live, but families struggle to afford to live in the state, often needing to work 2 or more jobs. Michelle Ramstrootberry, a middle-class parent, is just one of many who work more than 2 jobs to comfortably live in Maryland.
So electricity lately, I was telling my husband this, it's gone up. Before our bill, when we first got here, used to be maybe around $70, $60, just depending. Now it ranges from $120 to almost $230. Groceries can range from anywhere from $100 to $200, just depending on what we're buying, if we buy bulk versus smaller amounts.
In addition to these necessities, Ramstrootberry rents her home for about $36,000 per year. The average cost of homes in Maryland is $25,000, pushing it towards the 5th most expensive state to live in.
These are the things that kind of drive house prices: jobs, infrastructure, the availability of other kinds of public services and amenities.
Vanessa Perry, a professor from George Washington University, believes that there could be a solution to this crisis.
One of the things that can be done to really help address the affordability crisis is to increase the supply of units that are both affordable and available for low and moderate income households.
As housing, gas, and grocery prices continue to empty family wallets, parents like Michelle hope that the government can help.
Definitely being more accommodating to families who are adjusting.
Residents like Ramstrootberry wait to see if local and federal governments will help make Maryland a home they can afford. Odell Saye, Washington, D.C.